Hello friends, welcome to Samyak. Here we are going to study about history, what is history, and in this first class I am going to discuss about the syllabus, what syllabus we should follow in RPT as well as in mains. The first topic we are going to study about is syllabus is UPSC syllabus history, and the syllabus about PT is there is only one line which is mentioned here. One line mentioned here is history of India, and the second word which is written here is Indian national movement. Now these two words contain whole of the history, and it is so much ambiguous, or you can say it is so much vast that it has no limits. Actually, smaller is the question, typical is the question. Tougher is the question. You can say smaller is the question and more tougher is the question. Longest question, long questions always have long question means if a question has written a lot of words or lot of sentences are written in a question, then you can say that a lot of things are given in that particular, lot of hints are given in that particular question, and we can understand it in a very convenient way. But in this part, when only two words are written here, that is history of India, then what history of India, in what way we should study about history of India, and in what direction we should study and all. Then this history of India would definitely cover ancient, then medieval, and then modern. All these three facts or all these three systems or all these three things would be covered by history of India. Now, from where we should study, how we should study, in what manner we should study is the main thing or important thing. But in my opinion, as UPSC generally asks, that mainly the facts and the facts which are related to concept are generally asked, or the facts which are in news. If the facts are in news or some facts are in news, then these are generally asked by the UPSC. What type of facts? If you would study about that, some questions are being asked like about Akbar, that where the inscriptions or where the edicts of Ashoka are present, where what was done by Muhammad bin Tughlaq, what was the structure and all. But here, in these facts and as well as the concepts, you would see that mainly the political part is not asked. Political part, mainly from ancient and medieval parts, you can say that mainly the toughest part is ancient and medieval history. Ancient and medieval history, because some ambiguities always remains present in this part. Something like what facts should be present and up to what depth we should focus on this particular topic is much more important, or is the main section which student used to usually ask that up to what depth we should study here. Now actually every history have some political aspects, some administrative aspects or administrative facts or administrative part, political, administrative, then religion, religious, then literature, then cultural, and then architecture. These are the main sections from where economy also. These are the major sections which are generally asked, or from which the facts are generally asked by UPSC. These are political parts. Mainly here the names and the dates are generally asked by UPSC. In administration, name of the officers is generally asked by UPSC. A lot of officers were asked by UPSC that what officer is there, how officer is there and all, and what was his job, what was his exceptions. For example, one officer, that is Senani, was there. Another officer, Sandhi Vigrahak, was there. If somebody is asking about Sandhi Vigrahak or Sandhi Niyaman and all, these type of officers are generally present in the different phases. Ikta, Iktedar, Jagir, Jagirdar, these type of arrangements of administration. Similarly, what type of taxes are levied by the government, and what were the steps taken by the government in, or you can say what were the measurements and all. Similarly, in terms of religious names of the preachers which used to present there, or what was the what is written in the books and all. Literature also covers was also connected with the religion also. Therefore, we would definitely say that religion and literature both are connected with each other. Book name, writer's name, we have to focus on it on the basis of facts. Cultural part is generally asked, and about the syllabus, about the festivals and all. This is also been asked by the UPSC. In architectural form, type of architecture, type of material used, where particular architecture is present. All these things are generally asked by UPSC. If you want to cover all these things, you just have to focus on NCERT. If you are able to cover this NCERT of 11th and 12th, mainly old part, and if you are able to cover NCERT new syllabus from 6 to 12, then you would not have any need to purchase or go with any other book, because these are more than sufficient. These books are sufficient, or you can say more than sufficient to your preparation. Therefore, for PT purpose, for PT point of view, just read NCERT as much as you can. More you would read NCERT, higher would be your preparation, and more precise would be your preparation, and more precise would be your preparation, then more would be the possibility that you are going to solve the questions correctly. Therefore, the next phase is, or the next point, I would say you, now the next part is modern history. Now in the modern history part, a lot of number of dynasties were there. Dynasties are generally asked in ancient, medieval and modern. Dynasty is very much important for every section. Actually, you cannot deny, you cannot say that this dynasty would not be asked and this dynasty would be asked. Every dynasty would be asked by government, by UPSC. Any question from any dynasty could be asked, but the generally main thing is that only those dynasties are focused, only those dynasties are generally focused, which dynasty are focused, which are news, are focused, which are in news, which are in news, first thing. Second thing, first thing are in news, and the second thing, only those dynasties are present whose or the area related to that particular dynasty is in news. Mainly because UPSC is generally asking only those questions which are in news. UPSC is generally asking only those questions which are in news. Therefore, just focus only on those questions which are in news. Can't go with, should not go with those questions which are not in use and all, but you must know every fact which is written or which is given in UPSC. Go to, take help of take help of Google, and if you are seeing some area and if that area is historical background of that area also. Now the next point here is Indian national movement. Actually, this Indian national movement generally consists of, students usually think that this Indian national movement means, S must not be there, Indian national movement means struggle for independence by Congress. If some, mainly the students used to think that struggle for independence, by Congress. Students used to think, therefore, they just prepare their history only focusing Congress and the leaders of Congress and the policies of British. But this is not sufficient. Questions are generally asked from other sections of the history. For example, Indian national movement means rise of India as a nation, rise of India as a nation, rise of India as a nation. And if there was a rise, if there is rise of India as a nation, it means what would happen? It means the situation is, rise of India as a nation means, the situation is that whatever the religious reforms movements were going on, in the society, educational reforms were going on in the society, cultural reforms which were going on in the society. Similarly, political reforms were also going on, political changes were also going on in our society. Political changes were also going on in our society. If religious reforms, educational reforms, cultural reforms, political changes were there, similarly, other movements were also there, which are generally asked by UPSC. British policies and the Indian reaction, policies and Indian reaction to them. These are the sections which are asked by UPSC. And what were the reasons of rise of communalism in India? Communalism in India. In all these sections, what generally took place or what generally being asked is that student usually focus on Congress, I already have told you. But the main thing is, here the facts are important. Here the facts are important. If the facts are important, you must know or you must understand that these facts are very much important for PT, but not so much facts must be learnt, because they would either make you confused or put you under stress, because you are not going to learn all those facts, and nobody is able to learn all these facts except Google. And there are a lot of facts which are not known to Google also. Therefore, if Google is not aware about the facts or some concepts or some things, then how can we? Therefore, don't try to cram all the facts. Try to cram only those which are written in NCERT, and don't try to cram these facts all because cram these facts. Why? Because the simple thing is, if you are going to cram all the facts, then you will definitely see that why to cram all these facts? Just read and read a book. Just read a book many a times, at least 9 to 10 times, because it would definitely clear your concept, and it would definitely put the facts into your subconscious knowledge. If your facts are in your subconscious knowledge, then it definitely would benefit you. If your facts are in your subconscious knowledge, then these would definitely benefit you. These would definitely give you a lot of benefit. That is why I would definitely say you that don't cram all the facts. Just read the book properly as many times as you can. It would make your concept clearer, and if the concepts are clear, that would definitely help you to learn the facts. And if you are not able to learn that facts would definitely enter into your subconscious knowledge, and this subconscious knowledge is also very much important while solving your PT questions. Therefore, don't worry about these facts, but facts are important for PT, but not so much important. But still, the next point, let us come on the GS paper 1 mains part. Actually, in mains GS paper 1, 3 things are there: Indian heritage and culture, and then history. This is the history part: Indian heritage, Indian culture. Heritage, culture and history. This is the name, Indian heritage. And what is the Indian heritage? You must aware about this fact. Indian heritage, culture. This is the art and culture part or culture part. And the third is history. Again, actually this is the heading of your GS paper 1. Actually, these three things are going to share the fact, share the 250 marks, share 250 marks with geography of India and world, geography of India and the world, and second thing, one is geography of India and the world, geography of India and the world, and the second thing which is important is Indian society, mainly society. When the word society is there, its syllabus is defined in the elaborated way. Then actually history here, history shares, this is history. Some teachers used to consider this Indian heritage and culture as different, but in my opinion these are quite related to each other. Therefore, let us consider both these parts into history. Then this section of GS paper 1 generally consists of 3 parts: history, geography and Indian society. Marks generally vary here between these 100 vary, that is 100 plus 100 plus 50 or 80 plus 100 plus 70 or whatever the situation is. Actually, it generally changes from one paper to another paper. Sometimes a major portion of history is being generally asked, then other time geography section is generally asked, and on the third time you would see that Indian society questions are more in number as compared to history and geography. Therefore, what you would say, therefore the situation is that 3 sections are present in a single paper, and they are for 250 marks you have to prepare the 3 papers. And the main thing is you cannot trust a single paper. You cannot trust a single paper, that or you can say that you do not have any option to leave a particular paper. You have to focus on all the papers. Now next is Indian culture. This is the Indian culture part, which is very much important here. It will cover salient features, salient aspects of art forms, literature, and architecture. Architecture, salient features. It means अगर आप इसे if you just want to make a if you want to make a flow chart, or you can say something different here, then it is generally divided into three parts. It is divided into three parts, or you can say, you can write, you can make the flow chart of it here in this way, that ancient Indian history, or history which was written in your PT part, Indian history, it generally starts from your ancient to medieval, ancient to medieval, and this ancient to medieval part, this ancient to medieval part is not complete. Ancient and medieval part is asked. Generally, Indian cultural part is taken from this section. Indian culture part is taken, and culture also have a long definition. Therefore, three things are given. One are art forms, another are literature, is literature, and the third one is architecture. Art forms, literature, architecture. When all these three comes under it, art forms, literature and architecture, then you would definitely say that art forms means dance form, culture, dance form, painting and all. Literature means what type of books are being written by the society, written in the particular society, and what is written in the books and all. And architecture means what is constructed, and what is whatever the sculptures there, and what architecture was there mainly. It means something creative is being asked, then how the creativity emerged from one section, one part of history to the other part and all. You would see here like this. Now this is Indian culture part, and you should draw this feature, because Indian cultural part is being asked from Indian history, that is ancient to modern period, not only medieval, ancient to modern time. And if it is ancient to modern time, and three forms would be there. Now here I would definitely suggest you that NCERT is most important section. NCERT is the most important section here. The next section which is important here, or which is given in our syllabus, is modern Indian history. Now from about the middle of 18th century until the present, significant events, personalities and issues. अब यहाँ पर here is the issue, or you can say about is given. About the middle of, this is the word given to you, about the middle of 18th century. About the middle of 18th century. If you are saying that about the middle of 18th century, then this word about is creating confusion, and the 18th century means somewhere between, somewhere around 1750. That is maybe from 1740 or maybe from 1760. But my opinion is 1746 was the year when first Anglo-French war began, or if we would consider 1 year back, then 1739 when invasion of Nadir Shah took place in India. या took place, मतलब Nadir Shah, invasion of Nadir Shah on Delhi was taken place या took place here. When invasion of Nadir Shah took place here, then you would see that invasion of Nadir Shah was the time from where the whole of Indian history started changing. 1740 to 46. 1740 to 46 and it was 1760. Therefore, in my opinion, you should study history from 1739 onwards. But the main thing is, if you want to study history middle until present significant events, personalities and issues here. Now, till what? Till when? Word use is present. Present means maybe 2020. Maybe 2020. Maybe 2020, and if you are giving your exam in 2021, then 2021. If you are giving your exam in 2022, then 2022. Present means present, na? And here actually the word present means UPSC wants to connect, and in the next class I am definitely going to tell you that how you can connect your present with your history. Then present means UPSC is going to connect your present scenario with your ancient period or medieval period or with your history, in one way or the other. Because in 2015 question is being asked by UPSC that our government's smart city project is taking the lessons or energy or guidance from Harappa civilization. If somebody is saying that our present scenario and Harappa civilization and all, or our government is taking lessons from that, it means what? It means our government is taking lessons from that means what? It means 2015 is there. Yes or no? 2015 is there, na? In 2015, it means what? K smart city project was launched by BJP government or Modi government in 2014 or 2015, whatever. 2014 and in the 2015 question was asked. 2014 smart city project, and they just UPSC was asking you to connect this smart city project from ancient period, that is Harappa civilization. This is the meaning of this word present scenario. And here for this present scenario, three words are given. Three words are given here, and these three words are events. Events means dates and all. Events means dates, personalities means like Raja Ram Mohan Rai. And the issues means Indian national movement and the whatever the issues were present in the Indian cultures mainly and Indian society mainly. And here the modern Indian history, why the fight was there, why Indian 1857 revolt was there, why what was the issue of Tipu Sultan and all. Therefore, actually what were the circumstances till 1739, you are going to start with it. And not only you, we are going to start with this scenario, that from where our modern history begins and from where our UPSC is going to ask the questions. Then we would definitely cover the events, whether these events took place by, events means battles, treaties and all, and the personalities means a lot of persons were present there, from Tipu Sultan, Marathas to different viceroys and governor generals and viceroys came to India, and different sections also. And the issues mainly between Britishers and Indians, and Indian versus Indian. These were the sections which are being covered by us in our next classes or related classes, and here we are discussing all these things, or discussing our syllabus here. Now the next point is freedom struggle, its various stages, important contributions from different parts of the country. It means clearly they are asking our history from 1857, freedom struggle is 1857 to 1947. Whatever the incidents or events took place, whatever was done by Indian government, Britishers, whatever policies adopted by Britishers, and whatever was the policy adopted by the Indians was is being asked here. And if it is asked here, we are going to study in a very detailed manner. And the next point is here, post independence consolidation and recognition within the country. Post independence means 1947 to 1964. But in my opinion, actually people used to ask, or teachers used to spread the thing that till 1964, because the emotions and all things were connected with Jawaharlal Nehru, and Jawaharlal Nehru was the main last and the main and the last prime minister or leader who was on the top of Indian national movement, and he died in 1964. But in my opinion, till 1976, when our 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act was passed, post independence is there. Therefore, we are going to study about post independence till 1976, that is 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act. And the recognition within the country means what struggle was going on, what conflicts were going on inside our country is very much important. Therefore, I am going to teach you that also. Now, next point, which is also very much important, is world history. This paragraph of your syllabus is given with world history, history of the world, which includes events from 18th century. Same thing is 18th century means whatever was going on in 1700 onwards is important. 18th century means 1700 onwards, because in this 1700 onwards, whatever taken place in Europe was, one was the Industrial Revolution, second was colonialism, and the reaction against colonialism was American Revolution. Then fight for the rights was French Revolution, and then Napoleon's era to 19th century, whatever the incidents took place in 19th century, that is withdrawal of national boundaries, world wars, Industrial Revolution, withdrawals of national boundaries, colonization, decolonization, political philosophies like communism, capitalism, socialism, all these words would be discussed by us, and mainly their forms and the effect on the society. All of these would be discussed by us in this class. This world history section generally means UPSC is asking some less number of questions from this section, but whenever the UPSC is asking these questions, they are going to these questions are very much important, because we do not have any option. Any student do not have any option to lose these 5 or 6, 10 or 20 marks in UPSC exam. Therefore, no matter you are going to study less, but you must study about these topics. Therefore, just focus whatever we are teaching you, and this is a syllabus in which we have discussed each and every aspect of your that how you should prepare and all. In the next class, I would definitely give you a brief discussion about what is UPSC and how your preparation must be done, and what mainly I am going to teach you about what is history and in what manner we should study history. I am going to discuss about circumstances, event and their relation in history, what is the importance of date and all, and after that I am going to start your syllabus of modern history. Okay, thank you.